We're talking about assumptions that I think law teachers and law schools make about the legal profession and the legal services market. One, that it's more or less been the way it is and it's going to stay that way. And secondly, that our conception of what is going to stay that way is as of a bespoke service. Bespoke meaning individually made for an individual client. The situation today is that clients all up and down the income spectrum want cheaper, more accessible, and more predictable costs for legal services. Corporate clients no longer are willing to pay what they were willing to pay before for hourly legal services. They are pressing not for a 10 for 15% cut, but a 30 to 50% cut, which can only be achieved with a fundamental shift in the way legal services are delivered and who's delivering them. Now, at the middle income level, you had a lot of individuals and small businesses who were never going to lawyers to start with because they thought legal services were too expensive, so they were just going without and somehow managing on their own. And at the bottom of the income spectrum, you had a vast number of people who actually had huge legal needs, because if you're poor, you actually interface with the law a lot more than a middle income person, but had, in fact, no access to legal services except those that were provided free by legal services programs or pro bono services. For law firms, it means that they have to consider providing services in a different way that they've provided in the past, being more responsive and listening to clients what their needs are, perhaps thinking about the ways that they're providing sometimes products instead of services. They are providing the expertise in a way that clients can use themselves instead of expecting to be rehired 10 times to do the same thing again. It also involves considering ways that you have technology maybe within your own firm, but in fact with other providers. So you're doing more partnering, you're more working in teams where you were looking for, and today there are a whole range of entrepreneurs out there who are ready to offer services that can be contracted for, that would allow things that formerly would have been considered part of what a law firm did to be done by someone else. Not only cheaper, but actually often better, because computers don't get bored and make mistakes because they're tired with really stupid, boring things. Well, increasingly what you see now on the internet are like crowdsourcing services. Somebody puts up a question, lets people answer. Some of those might be good answers, some of them might be wrong answers. I mean, of course, we really need to think about how we balance providing quality with providing accessibility and cost. One of my things is believing that, in fact, if we have more of national brands providing, I mean, it's hard to say that Starbucks provides cheap service, but they certainly provide uniform, predictable service. And the idea that you have a national brand that is running a bunch of accessible locations for getting legal services, I think there's really actually a much better chance that the quality will be uniform, that people will get what they're supposed to get, that they will get pleasant service, that they will get honest service, and of course with economies of scale you can, through the use of technology, provide it very efficiently and I think at a reasonable cost. It's important to me because I care about what happened to students. I care about them having careers that will make them happy, feeling that they're doing something that's worthwhile for other people. I think that a lot of the law school bashing currently is misplaced, and actually what law school teaches mostly useful. The problem is it's not sufficient, that there's a whole other series of things that the lawyers of the future need. Law schools are not, a hoax, and the things that they are teaching are not worthless. It's just that people need to think about how that information will be used and deployed differently. And in fact, perhaps ways that the system needs to change in order to be more accessible, to be more what the system always should have been, more accessible to ordinary people, because way disproportionately, we don't have too many lawyers in this country. We have a maldistribution of lawyers. And having to have more lawyers and more access to the system, which is available to middle income and low income people, is really important.